Hello and welcome back to the Battle Room. I'm, of course, the Battle Room, and today I'm joined by my thumbnail artist, Caleb. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. If
Doing
there's
good?
one thing you know about me, it's that I have been dying to play with Mega Evolutions again. It's been, what, almost 7 years since we played with them last?
Yeah, it would have been 2019, yeah. Because we did play with them at the end, and it kind of felt like it was starting to get like a little bit, like stale. Like we really did need some new ones, because it was like, hey, Salamence is the best, Kangaskhan is good, Charizard's good, right? And like in restricted
Mm-hmm.
formats, it's like Salamence, Kangaskhan, Mega Rayquaza. Like it just was like very much figured out, and I think that we needed much needed with some new megas. So I'm excited to talk about them.
For
This
sure.
tier list is like, obviously we don't know abilities, we don't know moveset changes going into champions. So this is just purely some speculation and some fun on this one. So I'm excited to just make this one and have some have some fun with 96 different Pokemon here.
Yeah, this
Um,
was highly requested, so I'm glad we can finally contextualize this, even though might not be playing with these guys for a while, but
yeah,
we, we can we
it's
can
still
have some
fun to
fun.
talk about them. Yeah, it's still fun to talk about them. Obviously, um, they are still in Legends EA, so you can play with them a little bit there. All right, let's start with Venusaur. Where do you think Venusaur lies? I think Venusaur actually is kind of garbage because, unfortunately, a lot of these new Mega Pokemon, obviously, it's going to depend on what Pokemon are allowed, what Pokemon aren't. In the case of this conversation, I'm just kind of thinking, like, just kind of overall, like, I would think that it's like national decks, right? So like you have your Urshifu's, you have your Incineroars, you have your Rillabooms. Obviously, there might be a world where we never get them, right? Like there could
Hmm.
be they could be restricted. Like for all of Scarlet and Violet, we never got the Ultra Beasts, and I think some of the, like for example, Venusaur is kind of a bad version of Celesteela or Ferrothorn when it comes to like having Terra involved. Or just in general, just like Celesteela is kind of doing what Venusaur likes to do, but a little bit better. So you never know with what you're actually gonna be dealt with. But I think overall, I think Venusaur's probably like a C tier mega, maybe even D. I think like the leech seed stuff, just
I
not
don't know if
having an
I'd put
item is
it
brutal.
that low
Mm.
though. Like I was thinking at least put in B for now.
B.
Just as like its legacy kind of precedes it. It had really good like balance cores, but balance has changed vastly. Like also, grass poison's a good typing, but I guess if you're running this, you're not running something like Amoonguss.
Mm-hmm. Or
So
Rillaboom.
right.
I mean, I could see it in like in a world where there is like Rillaboom, Incin, or Shifu, right? Like Thickfat's
Hmm.
pretty awesome into them. You also can hit both Rillaboom and Venus or Shifu for super effective damage. So like it's not the end of the world. Like
I
I,
just I'm expecting to throw a lot of these megas in C and D, and this is this seems like a run of the mill mega that could actually see some use in the formats, compared to probably like at least half this list I would put below Mega Venusaur.
I think he's gonna go on the C later, but we'll continue on.
Right.
Mega Charizard X. I don't know how I feel about this one. I feel like he's just bad. Um, I'm not sure. Like
Yeah, I don't even remember. Is it just base 100 still?
on the speed,
Yeah.
I have it up here. Yeah, it's 100. So he just hits 100. Um,
You really
yeah.
needed to be boosting with it before. Since the last time we played with Megas, there's been too many Pokemon that keep pushing like how we view a fast Pokemon. We used to see base 100 speed as a fast Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's not really the case these days.
Yeah, I think he's definitely like CD. I just think he's kind of unplayable. I think that like I would rather just use Incineroar. I'd rather just use the other Charizard. I think you're just gonna get more mileage out of it. It does depend on what the format would be or what it's like, right? But I think just like I think 2015 was his one shot, and then after that it was like Salamence is just kind of a better version, and I just feel like it's difficult for him
Right.
to thrive. Next up is Charizard Y, who I think is probably borderline A to S. It kind of depends because I think in a world where like the photosynthesis mons are alive and well,
Hmm.
Raging Bolt, Fluttermane, they're all amazing partners for him. He is just the best sunsetter to ever exist. I think like I want to say he's like in the terms of fighting the other megas, he's kind of lackluster sometimes. Like I think there are a lot of megas who have
Sure.
his number, but I think the Pokemon he can enable, just go nuts. I also think this will come up a little bit later, but I do think like having the dynamic speed is kind of a big deal, and I think Charizard's tailwinds are still pretty relevant and still pretty scary.
Yeah, I agree with that. We saw it just stand on its own two legs without having to use like sun abusers in the past. So
Hmm.
being able to just have that, um, the ability to switch, um, into drought for your ability during the turn instead of having like a
Hmm.
Torkoal where you need to like switch in order to change the weather can be huge. And just having like that kind of anti-weather control could be good for teams. So I think it's still like definitely an A pick, probably not an S.
Probably, yeah. I think it depends because I do think like obviously it is very lenient on what Pokemon are allowed and how it can combat them. Specifically, like if the Protomons are there, right? I think that's a big
Hmm.
deal. Next up is going to be Blastoise. I think he kind of is similar boat to Venusaur, probably worse. Like, it's just not. He was kind of okay, kind of niche, but I think like his stats just are a little bit lackluster. His speed is slow. I think if you're setting up Tailwind for him to try and sweep, his special attack is not great because his best move, let's be real, is Water Spout, and so he has cool coverage, but I just don't know if it's enough or worth it. I think he's probably just like B, C, Venusaur level.
There are probably cooler ways to support it nowadays with like, I don't know why Rabombi came to mind, but I guess we had that during Mega, but just like the plethora of like Pollen Puff Pokemon. I know we used Amoonguss with it way back when,
Mm-hmm.
but now Amoonguss having Pollen Puff could make the water spouts like more relevant. But yeah, just the mono water typing doesn't scream it's like a star Mega to me.
I don't think we have to touch too much on Beedrill. I think that the base 40 defense kind of like speaks for itself.
I remember it was on some Ultra Series team in 2019. Just because of its insane like speed stat and like matchup into Xerneas, I guess.
The funniest part is that its speed stat isn't even good. Like there's now the way that the game has like
Right.
pushed it,
Hmm.
like it's 145. So they're literally just printed three new megas that are faster than it already. That
Hmm.
probably one shot it as well. So I think unfortunately like it needs to be faster, which is kind of like a little sad for it. It would be really cool if they actually went back and kind of reworked some of the stats of the megas. I highly doubt they'll do this, but I think
They
it would
very
have
well
been
could, but yeah.
it would have been really cool to see like some of them. I think some of them just need a little more like, dude, fuck it, break the rule. I know they give them 100 stats per, like
Hmm.
Mega Evolution. Give him 120, man. Give him 130, and like if you really wanted him to be like slightly good, but yeah, his ability. I mean, adaptability is cool, but it's a Beedrill. Next up
Yeah.
is Mega Pidgeot. Base 121 speed, 135 special attack with no guard. I think it's probably also just kind of in the D tier. I think Pidgeot's issue is that Salamence does what it wants to do better. And like
Hmm.
no guard's cute, but Salamence is fine just pressing like Aerialate, Double Edge, and Hyper Voice. I just think it just kind of gets outclassed. It's not even fast enough. Um, does it
It
outspeed?
doesn't have two good stabs either. Like, I mean, we've seen nowadays like the normal types that use their normal stab have to have busted moves or busted abilities.
Mm.
Pidgeot's not exactly like doing much with its normal coverage, so it's just a flying Pokemon that other Pokemon do that job better.
Yeah, it does outspeed Mega Salamence by 1 point, which is really funny. But yeah,
Oh.
I think it's not great. It's not bulky either. Priority Tailwind's such a thing that with the dynamic speed, like, because in the past you totally could run something like this, or like a slower
Hmm.
Tailwind setter against the Priority Tailwind. But Priority Tailwind is so real and so good that sometimes it's like, hey, I don't even live the turn now. So
Right.
I think that I think unfortunately the X one, the physical one, is D as well. I don't think any ability can save this guy. I don't think
You were
he's
just
really.
talking about breaking the rules and giving some of the Mega Pokemon 120 stats. If they were gonna do it, they were gonna do it for Raichu. They didn't, so
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he's a little bit cooked. And I think this one is like, I think he's a little bit better. I don't want to say, I mean, he's probably D as well, but he's got a little bit something going for him. He has a little bit more
I'll give
special
it the
attack.
benefit of a doubt. Throw it in C. We saw, what's Mega Manetric's speed stat? Just out of curiosity, just to like
Mega
compare
Metric.
it to an existing.
For
electric
135.
mega. 135.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, like, just the fast, strong volt switch that Mega Manectric had, but that was with Intimidate,
Yeah.
so I doubt this little guy's intimidating many foes, so yeah, probably down. I'd edge it to the end of C right now.
Yeah, I mean the thing too with Mega Manectric though, Intimidate is so big, right? Like,
Mhm.
just being able to consistently just volt switch around, like that is what Mega Manectric is designed to do. And I think honestly, I mean we'll talk about Mega Manectric later, but like I do think like maybe if it had an ability like that was more utility focused, but I don't know. He's kind of just meant to be a glass cannon. Um,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see some sort of lightning rod shenanigans though. I'm sure there'll be some sort of stupid team with him.
Hmm.
Next up is Mega Clefable. Clefable, not Clefairy. Um, Flying Fairy. I don't know how I feel about this one. I kind of feel like it does just get bogged down by like just Fairy being like the best type. That people will come prepared
Yeah.
for it, and I just don't think it's gonna add too much. I don't know. I think flying types too, like Air Slash being the special attacker flying types, Air Slash being your best move, kind of sucks. And I don't know. I just am not seeing. I'm not seeing this one being very good.
Like, you either go, it's going to be support with Follow Me or some kind of setup where
Mm-hmm.
you're protecting it, and I don't see either really panning out too much with its stats. I forget how high we placed it in the just overall ZA, but it's really going to have to depend on, like, a very limited, like, champions, like, initial Pokemon
Mm-hmm.
availability roster or something. Just pray that Togekiss doesn't make the cut immediately, kind of thing.
Or just any other fairies, right? Like I just think
Yeah.
it struggles into like the other fairies are just. I mean, some of the fairies are just so strong, and I feel like even like Gardevoir, I'd rather use, right? Like you're just dealing a lot of damage.
Yeah,
You're
that's
faster,
true.
and you're just pressing Hyper Voice. Having those spread moves is a big deal. I think this thing would need like a really strong spread move, which I just don't think it has. Alakazam, we don't have to talk about. He's garbage.
I but did we really ever use it with like Tapu Lele at all? Like, I'm just thinking
Yeah,
it has expanding force, right? Like, surely that's gonna hurt.
Expanding Force is new. It definitely didn't have that before. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe like if we're gonna say that these guys are slightly like usable, he's probably a little bit more usable than them just because of Expanding Force.
Hmm.
Um, because yeah, we never had it. It was allowed with Lele. I swear I saw it back in like 2018, but it was like on silly gimmicky teams. I don't think it was very good, especially because Expanding
Hmm.
Force wasn't in the game yet. But having
Right, right,
Expanding
right.
Force is a big deal. I mean, maybe it has enough to like do something. What's its speed stat at? I think that's always the most
What
important part.
Yeah.
It's gonna be at 150, so that's actually pretty good.
Oh,
It outspeeds
yeah.
almost everything outside of the Z Megas that have 151. He actually is the OG Shadow Rider speed. They should call it the Mega
I
Alakazam speed.
kind of want to put it above like Zardex and Blastoise.
Oh, you think like here? Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, dude. I
Yeah.
think Blastoise needs to go down. I think,
Yeah.
I think it needs to be like this.
We can workshop a little, yeah.
This guy's garbage. Um,
Yeah.
this guy's also garbage. I think.
I remember it being funny like a decade ago. Just some bulky teams with like, because it can't get crit, right? That's the shell armor.
um, yeah, it's got shell armor. It's got shell armor.
So I guess, but if you want your games just to go to time every round, sure.
I think
But
the big issue with him too, like the truly the problem that kills him, he doesn't have Scald anymore. Scald isn't in the game that we know of. Could be in Champions, but
right,
if it
right.
loses Scald, I think Scald was a big part of why he was so bulky. And like Scald is just such a broken good move for a stall Pokemon like Slowbro that I think he's just cooked. Now Gengar is a Pokemon that is kind of weird because I do think his speed is a little bit unfortunate of being 130.
Hmm.
Um, it's kind of like it's not too slow, but it is a little slow. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely super
Hmm. Hmm.
solid, but there are some Pokemon, specifically Fluttermane. Some of the new Megas outspeed Gengar as well. I think he's still absurdly broken though. I think he's got to be an S. Shadow Tag is the best ability in the game, but I am
Cool.
curious to see. Like I think Gengar has a little bit more counterplay. Um, yeah, specifically
I
with
feel like
the
we
three
we never really
Z's.
had. Oh right, yeah.
And Flutter.
But we never really had like hyper offense like Gengar teams. Like they were all like crafty and had like utility. So if we have to like if its speed's not relevant, if we like bulk it down or something, like it's still gonna be mad scary.
Yeah, I mean, I think balance was the best way to play it, just because it would set up guaranteed turns, right? Like being able to trap someone in, and then you say, "Hey, I might switch to Incineroar, I might not, but if I do, what are you gonna do?" I do think Incineroar, Incineroar was around when he was around the first time, and he was still very good. So I think some of the parts of Gengar do hold up. Like I think he's good into Rillaboom, for example. He's good into, what's it called? He's good into Urshifu-ish, right? Like Urshifu's not going to necessarily one-shot him. You can't get fake out cycled. I think being a ghost type is a good thing. So I think he's got some cool things. He also did get access to Encore. I don't know if they're going to let him keep that little toy, but he did get Encore disabled. He does have both. So
Yikes.
yeah, he could be a potential demon. I think either way, Gengar, if he's allowed, I think no matter what, he's got to be S tier. Shadow Tag is just the best ability in the game. I think Kangaskhan is like B.
I was
don't
gonna say
know.
hot take. I think it's B. Well, they've just I was gonna say printed, but they've just given us so much good fighting type Pokemon, so many in the past couple of years that all outspeed Kangaskhan.
Yeah. It's just also, I mean, it got some buffs in a way. Scrappy and Inner Focus both are immune to Intimidate, which is a big deal, right? Because on that turn one, you can't intimidate it either, right? Like if I Mega and you switch an Incineroar or Landorus, whatever, I'm just not getting intimidated until I Mega Evolve. So you get one guaranteed full power hit no matter what. I'm going to say that actually makes it A. I think its abilities make it A. I think it's probably the bottom of A, but I think Kangaskhan could be decent again. I think it's probably...
Yeah, I did forget about its base abilities. Those base abilities, they don't really give them
They're
out
big.
everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah, we saw like how good Flamigo was with Scrappy. So more Scrappy
and
Pokemon, the better.
so I think that Kangaskhan just having the anti-intimidate might be enough to kind of bring it back in the limelight a little bit. Starmie, I think, is... So it's pretty well assumed that it's going to be huge power. And funnily enough, Mega Starmie, the best way to use it in Legends EA was as a special attacker still, because it does get a little bit of special attack. And I kind of think it's going to be... Not that you should run special tackling Mega Starmie, but I kind of think physical might
It'll
not be
probably be
enough.
like mixed. Yeah,
I just don't
just
know how you're
Ice
supposed to
Beam.
run him. I think he's probably, honestly, like, kind of just with the Clefable.
I'd rather have Starmie than Blastoise. I feel, at least utility wise.
It's faster too. I think the speed is pretty nice. I think it depends. I think they could give it some fun moves. Like if it got some, I don't even know what crazy move it could get is the problem. Like I think its coverage is just going to be kind of meh. Psychic and water stabs. Also, those stabs kind of suck into Incineroar, Rillaboom, and friends. So I don't know. I think like Rillaboom eats this guy up, and I just think it's like it's probably not worth using as your Mega. Next up is Pinsir, who I totally
Forgot this guy existed.
he is eerily. I didn't remember his ability, but yeah, Pinsir is probably just in the trash. He always has been. Gyarados, I don't know how to feel about him. I think he's like his stats are so nice, but I think the game has just hit a point where it's just not great. Like it's not enough, right? Like he is one of the OGs that got like 100. He has no special attack increase, or maybe it's like 10, so it's very little. And he has a ton of stats, but I don't know. He can get Intimidate cycled on. He's weak to Urshifu and Rillaboom when he megas. Like
How relevant is Mold Breaker these days?
Mold Breaker is also not relevant. That's a good point. It's not really a
Yeah.
good ability because the Rotoms were like the big thing that he was able to hit. Honestly, he's probably down here. Unfortunately, Mega Gyarados, I think, is unfortunately cooked.
Yeah, C tier for all the water type megas so far.
Okay, one big thing about Aerodactyl. Does he get... One sec, let me see something here. Does he get... He does get Tailwind. So... the big thing here is I think the dynamic speed on some of these Pokemon is a big deal. Like specifically, I would say Salamence is the one I'm thinking of. That's going to be a huge deal. But Aerodactyl is another one that's kind of interesting because he does have 150 base speed. So he's kind of the fastest thing. One of the fastest things you can have on the field. He does a lot of damage. He's got good stabs. I think I could see him actually shining. Like we saw Edu use him in 2018. I think Aerodactyl might just be better in like other formats too with restricteds, right? Like being able to set up near priority level tailwinds. But if priority tailwinds there, it does kind of make him kind of meh. But I do think he's like.
Well, we haven't even brought up with any of these megas or with any of these Pokemon yet. Why would you go mega over just the base form?
Sure, I think some of them are. I mean, I think that goes into some of it, right? Like, I think like Aerodactyl, you're always gonna go mega, and some of them are just like they have to mega evolve. Like, I think actually all the Pokemon we covered so far, the Kanto Pokemon, are all like they're just so outdated that you just have to mega them, right? Like Gyarados, you can kind of go back and forth.
I could see Unaware Clefable, you know.
You could spend.
But then I was just thinking for Aerodactyl, like you go a Focus Sash lead instead, so you're not just dying after you drop the Tailwind.
No offense, bro. I'm not bringing Focus Sash Aerodactyl to a tournament or even on my ladder.
You know, fair enough.
If I'm gonna set up Tailwind that bad, I'm just gonna put Whimsicott on my team.
Okay.
But yeah, I think like with Aerodactyl, he is kind of like I think the 150 speed could be relevant in the right circumstances. So I think he's like probably C tier because there are opportunities probably to use him. Next up is Dragonite. I think he's probably just B. The thing with Dragonite is I think he's probably better off not megaing, right? Like,
yeah.
I think he's probably even C, but it kind of depends on his ability. Could be a big deal because I think multi-scale is very, very good as just like a base ability, especially because he's going to be a special attacker. We know that he's designed to be a special attacker.
Yeah. I mean, with those stats, yeah, I think it's just almost a crime to put it in C.
Yeah, I think his ability is going to make or break him, but I think whenever a Mega has a good starter ability, that's when I'm like, okay, eyes are on you, bro. Like you kind of could cook here. These guys we're not going to do.
I mean, high-key, like if we ever get to a tier list and we're talking about them, maybe they have their time finally.
Yeah, I mean, the Mega Mewtwo's do have Expanding Force. I think Expanding Force could make Mewtwo Y specifically, like, not going to say good, but, like, it's definitely probably a little bit usable in a restricted format.
Yeah, they exist. Unlike this Pokemon's usage stats, yeah.
Yeah, not great. Not much to say. I think Fairy Grass is brutal typing. I think it's just kind of... It's also too slow.
It's unique typing. Yeah.
It doesn't have, like, good enough... Dude, it's not unique typing. We got Shiinotic, dude. Come on.
No, I'm talking about as for a Mega. Like, there's very few grass fairies. Yeah, I didn't mean... My bad. Precisely unique.
But yeah, I think it's too slow. I think its fairy moves... Like, I think it doesn't even have Moonblast right now. It only has Gleam, so...
No, yeah.
I think he's cooked. Feraligatr is kind of interesting. I think
throw it in the tier with all the waters.
Yeah, it probably is about there. I think being Dragon Water is cool typing, admittedly, but
yeah.
I think that it kind of depends on how strong the fairies are. Like that's a big thing a lot with this type of tier list, I guess, or just in general. Like in any metagame, is what are the fairies and what are they doing, right? Because if the fairies aren't like super overpowered, something like Feraligatr could kind of pop off. Because even as we look through this tier list, like of the Mega Pokemon, I mean, I think I'm looking at 3 fairies off the top of my head, like just kind of scanning here. Mm-hmm. Like there's not many fairy type megas. So to me,
and then if we have like a limited dex format, they kind of just sprinkle in those fairies.
Because there's a couple Pokemon we've seen in the trailers that I assume will make it into the first wave of Pokemon. And also, in my mind, a lot of the Pokemon that are going to be in like if I had to take an educated guess, I'd say Champions is going to be mostly Legend ZA Pokemon. Like I would feel pretty safe calling that. And in my mind, the fairies aren't super oppressive or super crazy. Also like Xerneas, right? So I think like in a certain vacuum, I think Mega Feraligatr could have some, you know, he could make it happen. But also like the problem too is physical dragon moves suck. Like they genuinely suck. Yeah. So like he's gonna rock a Dragon Dance Liquidation Dragon Claw set? Like what?
Gross.
What are you doing with that? You know, like because Breaking Swipe isn't that great. I mean, Breaking Swipe's a good move, but not when I'm setting up. So I don't know how I feel about him. I feel like he's kind of just maybe kind of mid. He's also a little bit too slow. And I think whenever it comes to a dragon typing, if you're a slow dragon, like our boy Ampharos here.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's at least better than that one.
I think being the faster dragon is like, because they're just weak to themselves. So it's just so important to be faster. Steelix is garbage. I'll give
I don't, wait,
Scizor
what's Steel's ability? Cheer
Sand
Force?
Force. Sand Force. It
Oh,
needs
Sand Force.
sand.
Okay, yeah, yeah. All right, next.
Scizor is okay. I think he probably lies around here. I think it kind of depends on the meta and like what he's trying to deal with because he can kill some fairies pretty quickly. We've seen him win
Yeah,
tournaments.
that's an international champion right there.
Yeah, he's an international champion for a reason, but I think he does need specific circumstances, and I think. But one thing I was thinking is like, as Pokemon have gotten stronger, it just kind of means that maybe Megas aren't as important as they were, because like in the past they were the central point of your team. But in my opinion, the way I think we're gonna see the Megas built and be used is kind of as just like a niche, like, oh hey, I don't really have one right here. I think I'm just gonna slam this one on for a matchup, or I think this one kind of fits my team. I think I'm gonna put it on there, right? Like, I think it's less about like building around them and having them more like strengthen your team in a way, you know, like
Right.
where you're like,
Yeah,
hey,
there's almost 100 of them. I do think half of them you still really need to build around because you're trying to support, kind of like in restricted formats, you're trying to support the mons with the most stats.
but I
But
think
when your whole team can have all the stats, why not just do that?
exactly, and I think some of them are just like some of the in the past, some of their liabilities where you'd be like, oh, I don't want to use Mega T-Tar because I just don't like. I don't want to build around him. I don't want to set up DD. Maybe it's just like, hey, dude, I just need a really bulky tank to switch around. You know, I'm just gonna let Mega T-Tar carry. Where it's like, or you might be more inclined to like run a Mega that is more single target focused and not feel as bad. Where you're like, or like a
Right.
good example is this new Absol, right? Like maybe I just want a glass cannon, like really hard, strong hitting Pokemon that can open up the game for my other guys, right? Like I just need him
Sure.
to deal with some threats. So I think something like Scizor could actually fit that pretty well. Where it's like, hey, I just want the strongest Bug Steel type possible, and I'm just gonna let him shine. Especially if he gets like Bug Bite or something back. I think I don't know if he had it recently, because I feel like that's the thing that always
Oh, I
holds him
forgot he
back,
lost it.
dude.
Yeah.
That was a huge nerf to Scizor. Granted, he was at the top, but if he just
There
has,
are. I was just gonna say there are other newer like technician boosted moves.
yeah,
Like I want to say it probably has like Trailblaze or something now.
it does get Trailblaze. Still no Bug Bite though in Legends EA, which is fine. But I think that was honestly like if they just give him Bug Bite, I think he just elevates a little bit. Not that he's gonna be like broken, but he's a little better. Heracross I think is dog. He's so slow, dude. He's 75 speed. I don't think
One of the best attack stats in the game, but what are you gonna do if you're just feigning first?
Skarm is interesting. I think that he leaves a little bit to be desired. His coverage is kind of meh, but at the same time, like you have Brave Bird, you have Iron Head, you have Drill Run, and you have Tailwind. Those are all pretty good moves. And I think maybe if we're thinking of him more as like a kind of a Tailwind bot that does a lot of damage, especially if his ability is really strong, I could see Skarmory doing some work and being very, very good. He's faster than Charizard, faster than Kangaskhan. He hits a really nice speed and he has access to Tailwind. And for me, that at least puts him in B, maybe even like A.
It gets
depending on
Rock Slide,
ability.
right?
Sure. I don't know if you're necessarily pressing that. I think Brave Bird might.
Well, just for Charizard. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, I think that Skarmory does have some potential. Also, fairy types, if they're really good, I think he has a shot to be pretty good. This guy's garbage, right? What is this ability?
What speed does it hit?
Houndoom? I'm not even seeing him. What? Where is he? Oh, there he is. He has 115. And then he has
And it's solar
140.
power, right?
Yeah, it's solar power, so it's
Yeah.
not great. I think Mega T-Tar is better off not megaing most of the time, and I think that's just kind of the case. It's cool that he can reset his own sand. It's always kind of nice, especially when you're fighting against stuff like Mega Charizard and stuff. But I think he's probably just kind of a Scizor tier Mega. But maybe I don't know. I think T-Tar
I was
has
gonna
been.
say there's some mons where I'm like, all right, you run Mega instead of Assault Vest just because of all the stats you get. But Tyranitar is like, you just want the utility because you want another Pokemon to be the Mega on the team because it can do everything Mega T-Tar tries to do just without wasting a Mega item.
Yeah, and like I think Tyranitar's savior in Scarlet and Violet was not even AV. It was just terrestrializing into a different type, and I think that's where he was able to shine is because he's like, hey, you can't. I'm a flying type now. Like I got rid of all those weaknesses, but I still have the stats. So I think Mega T-Tar's probably just like kind of in the dumpster, but I'll put him there for now.
Yeah,
Subtile is actually too slow and too weak to be good.
Wait, it's really that slow?
It's 145. It doesn't really hit the speeds you want it to anymore, right?
Sure, I guess Lightning Rod's cute with it. It has like, well, I guess I'm thinking of just like the Unburdened set, but it's got like weird, annoying moves it could use. But yeah, it's not really gonna cut it.
Lightning Rod is kind of a crappy ability too. I think like it holds it back a bit. Mega Blaziken. I don't know, dude. I mean, it gets coaching. I think regular Blaziken with Sash is just better. Like, I think being a supportive coaching Pokemon is stronger than committing your Mega Stone to it. I think he's too frail. Um, dude, with the invention of
I don't know. Here, go back on Blaziken. I don't think it belongs on D. I think it's at least C, just because I'm thinking of like, what was it back then? It was like Blaziken, Bisharp teams.
Yeah,
now
but they
it's,
weren't even
Mega Blaziken. They were alright, but like they're not like Mega Heracross here, you know.
I think it's just like the single target damage, and like I think him being like Intimidate cycled on can be pretty brutal. I guess he can still hit Incineroar for super effective damage. Also, I think the invention of Urshifu is like really brutal for the guy.
Yeah, that's valid. Well, then we keep talking about all these busted mons, but yeah, Grassy Glide into Mega Swampert. It's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get anything too crazy that like just ruins his day in the other megas, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's. No.
Would you even run with it? You'd have to run like
Pelly.
Super anti like grassy terrain stuff too.
You could run Psychic Terrain, but he's also just doing no damage back. I think he's susceptible to being intimidated. I just don't know if he's going the distance. I think Gardevoir is pretty solid still. Base 100 speed kind of sucks. I think Gardevoir should probably sit around here. I think it kind of depends on like how many fairies there are, because I think that was the one good thing about Gardevoir is did go kind of nuts. I mean, special attack stats crazy, 165. It kind of has like, it's like the OG Flutter Mane. It's like defensive stats, like HP and defense are pretty bad, but it's fast and does a lot of damage. But I don't know if it's enough like in a like.
Well, it was able to. It's like fast, but still like 100 not being like the super fast like it used to be. Now also you can run Trick Room with it and just be the best of both worlds. Kind of have like a tail room team with it.
You could. I mean, I think people are definitely running stuff like that. It would just have the filler move of Trick Room. But I don't know. I think Guard is just like... I think the stats are just holding it back. Like, his defensive stats are just so bad. Like, it probably gets one-shot by, like, Woodhammer from Rilla, right? Like, it probably gets killed by Surging.
Yeah.
Like, I just kind of feel like it doesn't hold up with a lot of the other Pokemon, like the Paradoxes and stuff. So, but I could see it being decent depending on the format. I mean, even it hates Gengar. It hates a lot of the other Mega Pokemon that I think are going to be popular. We could revisit it in a bit. Sableye is the original OG trash. What is his ability even? Magic Bounce.
I brought its Magic Bounce. I brought it to a regional once. I just didn't have an item on my Sableye that I was already running. I'm like, there's probably one matchup this will come up in.
Sure.
And it did come up, but so what?
I think Mawile is unfortunately trash. I don't see
it. You're doing that to?
I think it's not very
former
good, dude.
Bestie.
Yeah, I mean, I think like even after 2014, Mawile fell off like pretty steeply. I think it has like a niche as like a Trick Room sweeper, but I also think it's just not strong. Like it doesn't have spread moves, so it just kind of feels bad sometimes.
I do remember you trying to force it to be a thing with Ray Ogre way back then.
Yeah, I tried it a bit, and I think like it has like the typing is so godlike that it's like okay, but I think it's just way too. It's just not strong enough, and it's not bulky enough, so I think it just kind of like loses out pretty hard.
I mean, its base form still has Intimidate if we're like valuing.
It does. It does. I just think that it just can't compete. I'd rather just use almost anything else. That's the problem. I think it's just like it's just.
Funnily enough, I actually probably would prefer to use the next guy.
Aggron? You'd rather use Aggron? What's he doing?
Because of Body Press.
Oh, Body Press is kind of real 230, and I think he does get Body Press, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Body Press is pretty real.
He might be in B.
You think he's in B?
I mean, I think I'd probably look into him before I look into, like...
He's definitely not a B tier, bro. I don't think you're Body Pressing that much, because the issue is... It's not stab either. Filter's neat. What other moves is he running though? Is the thing.
Iron defense at the very least.
Oh, dude, honestly, does he get it? Okay. If he gets Iron Defense Body Press, yeah, he's actually pretty usable. He's usable. Okay, fair enough. You got me. He does have Iron Defense Body Press. Interesting. I guess that's usable, yeah. Next up is going to be Mega Medicham. What's his stats looking like? Yeah, he's too slow. He's too weak. I don't know, dude.
Well, what was its, like, niche in 2019 again?
It was good in Incineroar, and it was good on Psy Spam with, like, with the Lele, right? Like, he had the Lele. Or no.
Right.
No, he didn't have Lele. I think it was just, like, Lunala. But I think it was just, like, it was decent into Incineroar. It did a lot of damage, and its speed stat was pretty important. And it had Fake Out. So I don't know if it just gets to do that again. I think stuff's too strong. Because, like, you would say, oh, what about in another restricted format? But then I'm like, hey, they have Shadow Rider, right? Or they have Mega Rayquaza. They have all this stuff that I just think, like... I mean, they had Mega Rayquaza when he did do well, but... I don't know. I just don't think he's tanky enough, and I don't think he does enough damage. Manectric. I actually think this guy could be really good. I actually think he's good. Because I think with the power level of the Megas, I think having something that can just Volt Switch around and spam Intimidate could be very good, right? Like if I'm just using him to support my other Pokemon, to make my Flutter Mane bulkier, to deal chip and just slowly chip things down. He's good into the Fake Out Brothers. He's good into Urshifu. I think he's like actually a good Pokemon. Like I think having that Intimidate is so big, and I think we could see him maybe doing something. I think Mega Manectric could be very
I think
good.
he fits very comfortably in just the balance archetypes we're already kind of using right now.
I think he has some potential. I think he has potential in restricted formats as well. I'm gonna say he's a little worse than Kang, maybe. I think this is just purely off of like in my mind how good he is. I don't know if he truly would function that way in practice, but like, dude, cycling him with Incineroar, that sounds fucking brutal, dude. But it kind of depends on the ecosystem around him, but I think he could be decent. Next up
I don't think our next guy has an ecosystem that works around him ever.
No.
Like, is it? It's Speed Boost, Pre-Mega, and then it's Strong Jaw?
Yeah, he unfortunately gets a lot of special attack as well. He has 110. I'm not really sure why they did that.
Oh, yeah, I think they would just kind of throw Ice Beam on it, too, yeah.
Yeah, they gave it 15 just thrown in there. I don't think he's worth using. I also don't think, unfortunately, Canerupt is worth using either. I think if we're going to talk about a Trick Room Sweeper that's going to be a good fire type, I just don't think it's him. I don't think he's the right Mega for you.
I do like its coverage, though. Like, just stab Earth Power on top of its stab Heat Wave.
Yeah, I think I'd just rather use Torkoal, to be honest. Or I'd rather use, because what's his ability? Sheer Force? Sure. I'd rather use Torkoal. I'd also just, like, it just sucks because he could just get sniped by an Aqua Jet. I think his typing's pretty brutal. And
I think the role it would fit probably gets replaced by something coming down the line.
Yep, I think this guy's garbage. This guy's garbage. This guy's interesting-ish. I think you're gonna contest.
Yeah, if Bronzong, no. I mean, going fast. I'm like, yeah, fair.
This guy is interesting in terms of like I think he's probably like a C underexplored. Like depends on his ability, of course, but I think he's kind of like if Bronzong got a Mega, but like it's kind of cool because you can set up Trick Room with him, and he's really bulky, and then you can start dealing damage in Trick Room. So I just don't know though. Because it's like, hey...
What are its offenses? I think this is the one Pokemon whose stats I did not...
135 special attack. So it's
that's
usable.
respectable.
But like my issue too is like, should I just be using Hatterene? Should I just be using Armarouge or something of that nature? You know what I mean? Like, but I think maybe he could function hard Trick Room. If he gets Expanding Force, you just press Trick Room, you press Follow Me Trick Room, and then you have a Mega Pokemon. You're using your Mega slot, and you're really bulky. So I don't know. I think he could be actually pretty viable. This guy's garbage, I think. Yeah. This guy's really interesting to me. I think he's funny, cool.
Yeah.
I think
he finally got to the first base 151 on.
Yeah, base 151 speed. He's really crazy because they literally took Absol stats and only put it in speed and attack. And I think that he has enough attack and speed. And in my mind, like, he is kind of, like, his typing's perfect. Ghost type is so sick. Fake Out is such a strong move in VGC. He's a Ghost type. not affected. He moves first.
Yeah, but the weird thing is it's a physical ghost type. And we
Mhm.
know we've seen with Dragapult how annoying that can be. Like Dragapult's literally running like Parablast is its only physical ghost move sometimes. Like if it doesn't get like Poltergeist, like I guess Shadow Claw is still gonna hit hard from its massive attack stat, but
It does get Phantom Force as well, but I think Phantom Force can be kind of bait on, especially on a frail Pokemon. Like it's
mhm,
not bait, it's still good because it is breaking protects and can set up endgames that are really
guaranteed
clean.
damage.
But like
Hmm.
early game, it's really difficult to use. So yeah, I think he is kind of a question mark to me. But I think his stats look good depending on his moveset and ability. I think this guy could really pop off for real. I think he's actually pretty cool. Next up is gonna be Glalie, Mega
Who's
Glalie.
ironically not very cool.
No, it's unironically very bad. Now we've got two goats here with Salamence
Oh,
and Metagross. We'll talk about Salamence first. The big thing here with Salamence, in my opinion, is that Tailwind is so good now. Like the base 120 speed Tailwind, that feels so good. I think we'll see a lot of teams that will just run that. I think we'll see teams that run Priority Tailwind as well. But I think Salamence can just be your Tailwind guy. And I think you're totally fine with it. He's always been insane at dealing damage as well. Double Edge, Hyper Voice. We saw this, the mixed special attacker and physical. He's actually the one guy who does mixed well. He's like the only one because Hyper
right.
Voice is and Double Edge are so good with Aerially. Um,
And they nerfed Aerial 8, and he's still good.
yeah, I think he's gonna be good because of that Tailwind as well. I think he's got a ton of utility. He's got a ton of coverage. You can run a setup one. I think Salamence is just like he's just so good. He's got Intimidate as well, so you just literally get to start off with Intimidate. But what's cool is you can turn it off too, which I think sometimes can be annoying. But he
Mhm.
can actually just Mega and not have it. Obviously the other ones can as well, but like it's nice for him because he sometimes just doesn't want to be proccing that Defiant. But
Right.
yeah, I think he's incredible. I think he's just gotten better. He's aged like fine wine. And Metagross is a similar story where like he started off kind of bad as a Mega, but then with the dynamic Mega speed change, he became pretty solid. And I just think, dude, if he keeps Heavy Slam, he's a nightmare. He might just be like number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, its coverage is just insane, and they just keep giving it more things.
Yep. And Tough Claws is a great ability, honestly. With the Tough Claws with the clear body, it's kind of like how the Scrappy works, but he's had it first and it's a little bit better. Um yeah, I think they're both good. Okay, anything to say about the Latios and Latios?
Just so you know, well, we did talk about this before the recording. Was it Yellow Eyes is Latios, Red Eyes is Latios? Why they did this, I don't know. Like, they could have made them look so much cooler, so much more just different. Um, Latios had like some Calm Mind stored power sets or something.
I think it was
Oh,
just
you're
I
putting
mean,
it up to B.
I think it's
Okay.
probably better than a lot of these Pokemon because again, Tailwind. I think and Latios
Oh, yeah.
so like Latios and Latios, like I think Latios, the Mega one, is a little bit trolling. You waste 30 points in your attack, and you get a little bit more special attack. But Latios is just so bulky, like 80, 120, 150. Like it's just living everything. So I think that in my mind, like I think it could be pretty solid. They also importantly, really importantly, buffed both Mistball and Luster Purge.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
They,
Yeah.
I just remembered that, but they did get buffed. So,
I want to bump up Latios 1 just because I do like Luster Purge.
because what is it now? Is it base? Is it base?
And it hits as hard as Psychic, right?
Yeah, it's 95 notes stronger than Psychic, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, this guy's probably like around this range. But I think you should be using Latias in my opinion. I actually think with the buff to Mistball, we could see them be kind of real. They're very bulky. They can set up fast tailwinds. They're not as fast as Salamence, but they can live a lot of like any hit thrown at them.
Hmm.
I actually think they could be like decent, usable. Yeah, I think I'm kind of excited. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to use them, but I do think they're kind of neat.
Yeah,
Like,
it's always nice seeing these Pokemon. It's like, oh yeah, we just kind of threw them to the wayside, and then we see like what they've been up to the past like 6 years. It's like, oh, okay, maybe they can come back.
and then next up we have Staraptor. I think it's just trash.
I was excited for this one. I mean, pre-Mega again, Intimidate.
Yeah,
But
its
is it?
stats, dude. Like I
Are the
said,
stats just worse? You would rather have Mega Halucha?
You would just rather have
Pokemon?
another Pokemon, dude. Its stats are just so bad from the get-go that it literally looks like a Pokemon they would make today. Like, that's just, like, has
For
those
that one
stats.
bird, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think... They would have to give it something really special in terms of stability, which I don't think they will. Lopunny is... I mean, Lopunny's got a fast fake out,
It's
but...
at least C. Well, because it's scrappy. You can intimidate
Yeah,
it.
it's kind of usable. I actually think this Garchomp is just like totally unplayable. I think you're just not supposed to run it. I think the other one, I've never seen this design before. I think he's actually pretty sick. He kind of goes around
Well
here. I
enough
think.
there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's pretty cool because he does a lot of damage. He hits that really really crucial speed point, and I think it kind of depends on what moves he's gonna get. He does get Nasty Plot. You can run Nasty Plot. But I think he's bulky enough. I think he's pretty bulky. He's really fast and has a lot of special attack now that I think this Garchomp is actually super playable.
It's just like, what coverage move are you going to kind of rely on the most? Because it is, Mono Dragon when it Mega Evolves.
Yeah, that's a killer.
Or are you going to just kind of bank on abusing the ground typing while you have it? But I feel like you just want to kind of Mega as soon as possible.
I think you'll do more damage Mega Evolving than you will staying a ground type. I think you probably do. Like, I think it depends if you're running the Nasty Plot set. Like, is that set good? I'm not sure. But I think you probably keep the ground coverage just to hit steel types at the very least. Like, you could also run Flamethrower.
Like, Flamethrower, yeah.
Yeah, you could run... I think you run one of those coverages just to hit steals, and you just say, I hope this is enough. And you're going to have some real fairy hate on your team. But I don't know. Right. I think he could be pretty good. And I also think, like, maybe you just use him as a glass cannon. And that's kind of his role. I'm not sure... I'm not sure how I feel about the two Lucarios. I don't think they're... I said on my video yesterday that this guy was ass, but then I saw someone in the comments... Adaptability is a good ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
post-combat, like... Ooh,
we're assuming this guy has... Mega Launcher, which I think is a fair assumption. But I think that I kind of underestimated how strong the adaptability CC is because it does go insanely hard. So I'm going to say that he's probably still C though. But I think that he does have a place in this format. I think you could play him. His speed stat is just enough where he can outspeed some really important threats. I think Mega Lucario is probably chilling in C. And I think this guy might be a similar boat. I'm moving Venusaur down, dude. There's no way it's better than these guys.
Okay, fine.
I also think this guy's probably down there.
Yeah, if we're ignoring like the letters and now just seeing where all the other Pokemon are fitting.
Yeah.
You have Mega Chimecho over the Lucarios? What are you doing?
I think he could be better if the Trick Room teams actually use him well, but it kind of depends.
Okay, I kind of want to put both of them, both Lucarios the top C, at least for now. Yeah.
I think that's fair. I think this one, I don't know which one's better. I think this one might be his speed is just a little bit more appealing to me. I think that could be a big deal.
I'm just thinking of how the better Mega Lucario sets in the past, like, you just abuse the stabs and run, like, fast substitute. And you can't have a faster substitute than the new Mega Lucario.
This guy's unfortunately ass. I think Frostlass is also not very good.
Nah, we could just keep going through these, yeah.
Mega Heatran. This is the one, dude. This guy is going to be... I think he's going to be nuts. I want to put him around this area.
He's still quad weak to
He is.
Ground.
I can't justify putting him in S at all since we don't know enough about him. But I think he's super hype. I think he's probably the hypest Mega I've seen in the DLC. Well, that's not true. I think both Absol and Garchomp are really cool. I'm excited for them. But I think Heatran is another one.
Pokemon to give a Mega Evolution to.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. That's a crazy one, dude. That was crazy. I'm excited for him, though.
It was seeing great usage in all formats it was legal in before.
Yeah, it's won Worlds a couple times, I think.
Yeah, but, like, are teams wanting to run a Mega Stone instead of, like, Shucka Berry?
That's the question. Yeah, that's the question.
Good enough to warrant taking the ground attack? I guess, obviously, it's going to be, like, tied to the hip to Rillaboom.
Yeah, or... I mean, I don't know, because as we've seen, Earthquake just isn't a very good move anymore. It's still solid, we see it here and there, but like with the existence of Rillaboom, Earthquake has fallen off incredibly hard. The only Pokemon that really runs it is like Ursaluna, but Ursaluna runs it because it can run Headlong Rush, right? And even then, like Headlong is just so broken, so... I don't know. I think ground moves have all but went a little bit extinct. I mean, the best ground type Pokemon we have right now is Landorus I. Landorus T is just not even close to as good as Landorus I. So I don't know. I think that he could function in a world with the ground moves. I don't think it's a big deal. My fear is something like Urshifu just slamming him, right? Like, because his defense doesn't actually increase, which I think is a really smart balancing thing from them, because he still has his Achilles heel of the ground moves. Because like I think like high horsepower would come close to one shotting, because Mega Heatran has no more physical bulk than regular Heatran. Like it's the exact same Pokemon. So I think that he has a lot of cool things going for him. I do wonder like if he's going to be good in Tailwind or Trick Room. I think speed control is going to be really important, but he might just shoot out damage. Like if he actually has an ability that's like aggressive in any way, I think he's just like actually really strong.
Or even if it doesn't, let's go back. Let's put Skill Swap Cresselia next to it. You know, have a good time.
Sure, maybe if he does just get into the air, you just start winning. Maybe it's time. I think Embor's bad.
Yeah, it doesn't get faster, right?
I'm just gonna put Audino in here too. Yeah, it does not get faster. Excadrill I think is really cool. I think he's kind of like in the I actually think Absol's cooler than these guys. I think he's like in this range.
The one Pokemon on this list, probably Click and Earthquake.
Yeah, I mean, not even though. He can run Drill Run. And also, the cool part about Excadrill is that I am very curious to see what ability he gets. Because I think if the ability is not sand-centric, I think he might be chilling. I think that would be a really, really good addition to Excadrill, because his speed stat is now actually really goated. It's like 101 or 103 or something like that, maybe 105, somewhere in that range, which I think is faster than Charizard, right? Which I think makes him in a really sweet spot of being like, he could be good into a lot of these Pokemon. He looks incredible into Metagross. He looks incredible into Gengar, into Kangaskhan. Salamence looks like the hard one, but even Salamence traditionally does not run any coverage for steals either, so I don't know. He's looking like he matches up really well into a lot of the guys above him, which makes me think, hey, maybe it's Excadrill's time, as goofy as it looks.
I'm all for it.
This he's garbage, right?
He's a fun dude.
This guy's also not great. I think not being able to have your fairy type, like just being 4 times weak to fairy is just a death sentence, as cool as he may be. Electros also I think is garbage. This guy's kind of neat. Chandelure is like, it's probably around C. I think it's got a lot of special attack.
It's just so funny. Heatran really like stole the spotlight from this guy.
Yeah, it did. I think they have similar special attack stats, but like I think I'd rather just use the better typing of Heatran. I think Chandelure's cool though. It's a ghost type. I think it could be solid.
Say better typing, I guess. Like Ghost is one of the best offensive typings in the game, but maybe up there. Oh, Dragon.
I think Gardevoir goes down. Yeah. I think this guy's probably around here, but I think Gardevoir goes down. This guy's actually like mad high.
Taking it down with.
I think Latios is like better, but I think maybe this guy's actually just way better. But alright, Golurk. How are we feeling about Golurk?
This poor guy. I don't know what they could have done. He's so sick. I love Golurk. He just always needed a little more love.
He's too slow.
I think I put him at the bottom of C just because the utility of his bulk, plus it's another cursed physical ghost attacker. But I'm sure there's some kind of set that's out there that can actually abuse just the pure like relevant stats it has, because it isn't really wasting stats.
Fun fact: they gave him Fissure in Legend ZA, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think they're gonna. There's no way they would let a Pokemon with no guard and Fissure exist like naturally. No. But he does have Fissure in ZA, which I think is funny. But I mean, he gets Poltergeist. He hits like a truck.
Again, you know, I'll do it again. Why not?
Yeah, he has a lot of physical bulk. He gets Poltergeist. He's actually got insane bulk. So I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be great. But I think he's probably better than those guys. This guy's probably the same boat, where it's like he has body press, but his typing is just so bad.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Because you just look at all the megas above it, like, if we're just thinking mega 1v1s, what's it even beating up here?
Nothing, dude. It's just kind of meh. I think Delphox is interesting. I think it's kind of in the Skarmory tier of, like, I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it, because I think expanding force plus nasty plot is...
It's levitate.
If it gets levitate, it's cooked, but I think that Delphox has some pretty pretty good potential here. I think it's got amazing speed, it's got good coverage, and it has nasty plot. I think it could be good. It's also incredibly fast, so I think Delphi. It also matches up pretty well in like into the big three up here, which I think these three I will say are good no matter what. These three it does like to fight. It likes to fight Charizard to a degree. It actually likes to fight Charizard.
Has Wisp or something.
It doesn't like Heatran, I'll tell you that much, but yeah, I think he has potential, or she does, whatever. Mega Greninja, I think it's unfortunately just C. Like it's just kind of like it's Blaziken-esque. It's you're using Greninja. It kind of sucks.
We were excited about its speed stat until they're like, "Hey, see these like Mega Z's? They're just gonna break the sound barrier."
I thought he needed to break the sound barrier, and unfortunately didn't. Pyroar is just bad. This one is interesting, honestly. Unironically, kind of interesting. If we're allowed to use the Floette.
Okay.
I don't know. But
it's tough.
Because honestly, it might even be better not Mega. If it can just run Eviolite, it might just be better that way.
I don't even know if they'll just like, even if it is legal, I don't see when they would like add it to the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to just stay in ZA. Who knows? Meowstic, I actually think is probably C as well. I think Meowstic has a really cool, like, having competitive as your base ability is just sick. I think it can cause a lot of problems.
Does it have a move for Incineroar, though?
It has Moonblast. I don't think it needs necessarily a move because he's not one-shotting you with knockoff. So I think it might. Okay. Well, maybe he is. But either way, I think like it could be usable in a way.
I would put it below Zam though. Like Zam just does what it does a little better.
Malamar is just really bad. It's really bad.
Not our friend anymore.
I don't think this guy's good either.
No, but dude, you have to remember Gale Smash.
I think some of them
forgot in our last tier list.
I do think some of them like could like I think a lot of the megas we don't know the abilities of could jump up a little bit, but I think like I would say he could jump up to C.
Yeah, no, I'm mostly joking. Yeah.
Dragalge I don't think is good either. Nor Halucha, right?
No, man. Fighting, flying, coverage.
You think he's solid?
Yeah.
Is he here?
I think. Sure. Just because the coverage is that relevant. The bummer about Staraptor is that it's adding 100 base stat to a Route 1 bird. But Mega Halucha, like, does stuff with its stats.
He doesn't get Tailwind, unfortunately, but yeah. I would say he's probably, like, okay-ish. I think this guy is unfortunately kind of ass.
I'm gonna try to make him work.
His stats are cool, and I think he's like okay, but fighting ice, brother. Fighting ice is brutal.
They should just let us have 2 of them, like they do in the DLC.
Glissad's neat. I actually think he's cool. I think he's kind of like with the other steals. I think Glissadd has like it has potential. I think it's depending on its ability. But I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of emergency exit. I think it's brutal. But I think he's got super potential because I think if they give him bullet punch,
gonna override the emergency exit.
If he gets a non-emergency exit ability, I think he's like could be solid. I think he could be good. He's 4 times weak to fire, but his defense stat is absurd. He could get some nice body presses. I really think that Glissadh could shine. I really want him to give him bullet punch, dude. That would be really sick for him. But yeah, he's got some potential. Dramps. Oof. Ass.
Like the definition of give us more info. What is its ability?
Yeah. You know? Honestly, maybe it has a hard trick room. Maybe it has a hard trick room chance here. Yeah. I think Phalanx is. I mean, I'm gonna put him in. I think he's C, but like. No Retreat is kind of neat. And then also, it does get Fake Out now. So, do with that what you will.
Yeah, but why are you Fake Outing with your Mega?
I'm thinking, what do you mean what are you faking out with your Mega, dude? This Pokemon is broken.
He gets to Fake Out twice. Yeah.
I mean, I think just having the utility can be useful. But yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I think it also, like, it's decent. What's its ability? Defiant, dude, right? Yeah.
Defiant. Defiant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good into instant. Dude, it's definitely a C tier mon. It's definitely a C tier. This guy is so unbelievably bad. I love his design. I think he's actually really funny.
He's rocking it.
He's rocking it. I think Mega Glim is pretty decent. I actually want to put it by the other guys. I actually think Latias might just be better than some of these, but
So
I'm
I
riding high
was
on Latias.
watching. I was watching your video earlier
Hmm.
and reading some comments, and people, of course, when we talk about Glamora, we're thinking about the meteor beam, set and everything. But it also has just been good on like hyper offense tailwinds,
Yeah,
and if you just mega evolve it, it has a better speed stat already too. So it's outspeeding and one-shotting more things in tailwind.
I'm worried that Meteor Beam is just stronger. Like just stat wise, might just be better than
Sure.
Power Gem. That's my fear, but I do think it has some potential. I think its speed stat is really, really good. I think going up to what is it, 100?
Yeah,
Yeah,
or something like that.
yeah, that's really
I
solid. That's like
They
the
unfortunately did give it a bunch of attack. Like, was it 30
oof.
more attack or something?
I think they
But
have
like,
to. Pokemon's strong.
you can run like Stone Edge or something if you're not running Meteor Beam, because like maybe
Ooh.
in the meta, Stone Edge hits harder than like Power Gem.
They gave him 101. He outspeeds Charizard by one, dude.
Wow, that was definitely by design.
Oh, 100%. So I think Lamora does have some potential. I think it could be pretty solid. The question I think is it better than Power or Meteor Beam? I think that's the real question of Lamora. I actually think Tatsugiri. I think it's like a B tier mon because
It definitely has to be anywhere above Mega for Alligator, because I think it
yeah.
just does its typing better.
Well, the thing with Tatsugiri is that its ability will change. So I think that it just makes Dozo stronger because you just play with Dozo until it dies, and then
It gives you
hopefully
another mode.
it gives
Yeah.
you a Mega, and then you have a Mega Tatsugiri that's just better than Tatsugiri. It also is what Pokemon like. I was shitting on Double Megas for like in my opinion, Double Mega. I don't want to say it's dead by any means because we have no clue, but
Mm-hmm.
I think Double Mega seems a little bit inferior in this type of power creep that we're in. But I think Tatsugiri might be the one where it's like, hey, it kind of doesn't need an item as it is, like depending on
Right.
what its ability is. I think Mega Tatsugiri, it won't be broken by any means, but I think it could be really strong because you have to deal with Dozo, use resources there, and then this guy can Mega Evolve and do lots of damage or something, or utility, or who knows what he's doing, bro. Maybe he just revives Dozo with him when it Mega Evolves or something, right?
Don't even joke.
But like I think
Um,
Tatsugiri in that way is going to be usable, like for sure. I'm pretty convinced because if you just get to change off of Commander, dude. That's the best part is that you just don't you have an ability now, no matter what. I just think it'll be kind of depend on how strong it is, and like maybe Sash is just still better because Sash or Safety Goggles is just so good on Tatsugiri because opponents know how to play about it and set it up. So I'm not really sure.
Of course, it's the 2-2-2 team that would use the two megas the best.
Yeah, yeah. And then finally, we're not going to do the other legendary Pokemon. In Ash Greninja, they kind of need their own list, but also like we just mainly want to talk about these guys. I don't know how to feel about Baxcalibur. I'm really conflicted because he, much like Lamora, the loaded dice set is just so good that it just seems like I would rather be using loaded dice Baxcalibur with Icicle Spear.
Sure, but
And
just Mega Bax Glaive Rush. It's gonna delete anything, like even resisted hits. Like you're
Yeah.
not gonna want to.
he probably trades incredibly well. He's so bulky. Like I do think he is kind of like in this range. I think, dude, I'm convinced on Excadrill. I want to move him up.
Yeah,
I actually think Kang. The more we make the list, the more I'm like, dude, Kang is good. Kang is back up top.
in B.
Yeah, I
So,
think Kang
and
is.
now it's top 5.
I think it's top 5 mon. A lot of them are question marks. A lot of them are like debating. I'm really Latias has me excited, dude. That's the one I'm most excited about. I think is Latias.
I think the Lucario, the new one, is a little criminally low, and even maybe regular Lucario. No,
Yeah, I
makes
mean,
sense. For regular Lucario.
I think some of these guys are gonna drop and some of them are gonna move up. I think Lucario. I don't know. I think they're just a little bit too like. I think their typing is a little meh, and I think their coverage is a little meh. But I think they are strong Pokemon inherently.
It is interesting that our Type 5 on this list are pre-existing megas, but
I
it's also unsurprising because we know their abilities.
Exactly, and I think we know them well enough that like we've played with them. Whereas these guys, I think it will take some time. Like again, this is all for fun, just some
Yeah,
speculation. But I think that once we have some abilities and once we start playing with some of these guys, it's going to be very interesting to see where they end up. Because I think
yeah. And then
the
we can
DLC
revisit this video in like 3 months.
we will, and I think the DLC like when we originally played Legends CA, I only thought of Excadrill. Everything else was like
Uh,
I was like, dude,
mhm.
I don't know how I feel about Dragonite. I don't know how I feel about like Delphox and Chestnut. They're kind of whatever. I don't think they're gonna warp the game. But looking at some of these new guys, they got me excited. I mean, not Tatsugiri really, but I see Garchomp. I see this Z Absol. I think some of these guys, even Bax, could be really good, and I think they could really shine. And they look kind of like fun Pokemon to play and use. So I'm excited for this. I don't know about you, but this is looking nice.
Oh, super hype.
So I'm excited
We
to get back to
definitely
these guys.
we definitely overlook some guys,
Mhm.
but like you viewers at home, definitely let us in the comments section below know what Pokemon here do we just overlook and disrespect in your eyes.
Yeah, come on, tell us why you hate my list and why you hate me for why I put Skarmory so loaded. I know someone out there is already just frothing at the mouth about my Drampa placement or my falling, so just
So
let
I
me know in the
thought I thought
comments.
it was so funny you kept gassing up Chimecho. I felt like you inched him up like every minute.
Dude, I think he's cool. I think in Hard Trick Room, I think he might actually be used. Some of these guys, like, I don't know if we're gonna use Iron Defense, Body Press, Aggron. I don't think we
Right,
will,
right.
but we could. Chimecho, I think he might get play. Like, I am kind of convinced that he might be good enough. Funnily enough.
Mhm.
Well, Wolf's gonna make a video on him for sure, bro. He made that
No,
tweet. He's coming, dude.
second one, like
He's
frame
coming,
one.
dude. He's frame one making the Chimecho team. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.